Hello and welcome back to Singapore for day 5 of the Nations Cup. Just 2 days left to play here and finals positions on the line today. Coming up to kick things off, we have Singapore A facing Kenya, and in their debut Nations Cup tournament, Kenya, we know, will be in the final because they have such a great goal percentage. My name is Brittany Carter. Joining me in commentary will be former Singapore player Kimberly Lim. And when I say former, it's very recent former, isn't it, Kim?
Yes, hi Brit, hi everyone. Really excited to be here today in the final round games of the Nations Cup 2024. Excited to see what Kenya puts up against Singapore A shortly.
All right, well, here come the teams. They're just going to be announced.
Let's get ready to welcome the opening game of today, Singapore A versus Kenya. Introducing Team Kenya. In goal shooter, Daktari. Goal attack, Aviator. Wing attack, Bisbis. And in center, Dogo. Wing defense, Terry. Goal defense, Sister. And goalkeeper, Ashupa. Now the rest of the Kenyan team is comprised of Rosh, Sampadora, Mesh, Abby, and Manoro. And the head coach for Kenya, Mugisha Ali, assistant coach, Evelyn Gerono, team manager, Bat An Jeb coach, and physiotherapist Ngorch Jackson Kiman. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Singapore A! In goal shooter, Priscilla Wong. In goal attack, Zulfa Rashad. Wing attack, Nora Gabriel. And in center, Janine Ang. Wing defense, Uzma Rashad. Goal defense, Faith Maria Lawrence. And goalkeeper, Sheikha Aljunaid. The rest of the Singapore A team is comprised of Yasmin Iman, Matilda Narayan, Lily Xuan, Charlotte Lee, and Rebecca Leong. And the team is supported by head coach Yomi Hong, assistant coach Kok Mun Wai, team manager Lee Min Lee, and physiotherapist Ng Chuen Tai. And the umpires for today's game are Regina Wong Wingpo, Shekaza Lephole, and reserve Eranga Sitara. Let's hear it for Singapore A and Kenya.
All right, here we go, Kenya and Singapore A. So everyone's actually had a rest day, haven't they, Kim? Yesterday they had the day off. I saw Kenya, Canada, Ireland out exploring. Some of them went to the Gardens by the Bay and watched the Super Tree light show last night. And now everyone's come back and they're got to focus again and hit the netball court.
The rest day has been awesome for everyone. Everyone has been looking forward to it. So really excited to see a high intensity game today after a well-deserved rest.
That's right. So no changes to Kenya from their day 4 side. And Singapore A, they've just flipped their shooters as we expect them to. Down low, here is Zulfa looking to score the first goal. Oh, Priscilla throws it back and it's in the hands of Kenya. Not a great start for Singapore A, Kim.
Yeah, just a little shaky. I think they're a bit hesitant with the pass, but I mean, it's just the first few seconds. We'll just watch to see them, how they come down for the rest of the game. But of course, Kenya, you know, being the African team, they are very fanciful footwork down the court. Unfortunately, being called for a out of court.
Well, this is crucial for Singapore A now, just to try and get up their end and score, but you can see the defensive pressure Kenya are already applying. Oh no! It's exact same patch of court it's fallen out of.
Yeah, so unfortunate for the wing defense. I think just a bit taking her eyes off the ball too early.
Quick work here from Kenya. And we see Naipera, as she has done throughout this Nations Cup, starting strong. Such a tall target for the Divas. Looking to go back-to-back to start. Big long pass here onto the transverse line. Good defence here from Singapore A just to hold them up. That passage of play certainly wasn't easy.
Yeah, I think the hands up from the Singapore team has helped to sort of obstruct the view to the goal shooter, and I guess that's what they're going to need to do for the rest of the game.
So Gabriel back to...
Good hold from her, fighting the goal attack with the hands.
Oh, bobbled here by Nora Gabriel. But she'll continue.
Contact call from the defender. I think they just got to keep it simple, keep the ball down low. Kenya's really good in the air. And then we have it. Chris with the first shot. The crowd's going wild.
The crowd is loving it to start day 5. You can see lots of school kids in here today. And as someone that was on this very court last year, Kim, how much of a factor does the crowd noise play in how you perform on the day?
Oh, I think they are our 8th player. The louder they get, the more momentum we have on court. So, you know, we would love to hear the Singapore crowd cheer both teams, actually. It just makes it so electrifying and exciting to watch and play.
So sitting here with me now, any regrets about not being on court this year?
No regrets at all.
Happy to be retired.
Yes, happy to be playing a different role this year.
Deep into the pocket, Singapore A try to keep it in play and aren't successful. So a throw in here for Jacqueline Oro.
I think Singapore A just needs to keep it short and simple. Calm down first before they lengthen the play. Good pressure from Jenny. She saw it, but referee stayed out because she saw it flying off court.
Amazing pressure there. Irene Otieno was actually free and calling for it, but Kenya a little rattled and missed her. Went out to the left-hand side of the court instead, and yeah, now we see another chance here for Singapore A. So with the greatest respect of all the teams we think might trouble Kenya, when we look at the fixtures coming into the Nations Cup, Singapore A would probably be the team you think may be an easier game because they're not that national side or the senior side quite yet for Singapore. So far, 3-2, doing really well.
Yeah, I think with the whole competition really, Singapore A has been putting up a good fight, getting some games and wins under their belt, so you know, they're not a team to be discounted.
And when you're in the senior side, you often train alongside Singapore A, don't you, to get ready for competitions?
Yes, exactly. And I think they have really grown over the years. With the Singapore A setup starting a couple of years ago, it's provided a lot more consistency in the way they progress and play. So it's awesome to really see them in Nations Cup as a permanent fixture now.
We've got Kim on the stats for us. Oh, down low here, and the call goes towards Singapore A. Zulfa pushing hard up front here. And we've seen sometimes that be given as a short pass, right?
Yes, especially on the Thursday. A few of the drops were being called for a short pass. So I think players need to really adjust to the different umpires and what they interpret as shot.
As a former wing attack yourself, I mean, sending that feed in now, are you just trying to be really alert about the space when you give the ball into the shooters?
Yeah, and I think it helps if you're playing on the umpire side where they can see the distance better. But if you're on the far end on the left side over here, sometimes umpires might have a bit of a parallax error. So maybe just stepping back to allow them to see the space between bodies will help.
That's really clever.
Oh, good hands from Faye. She might not be the tallest defender, but she really gets up in the air.
She does well to hold her ground. She's a very strong player, isn't she?
Yeah. I'm really loving what she's put out this Nations Cup.
Well, Onyango adds another to Kenya's tally. Resetting. And the captain able to get it away to Onyango. Oh, quick work here from Otieno. Oh, and replay.
Good hustle from the goal. Oh, Uzma on the floor early. I think against Singapore, she was also on the floor quite a bit, putting her body on the line. But unfortunately, Singapore A just losing it.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of times throughout this tournament that Onyango has... Oh, so this goal does not count. Wow, bit of chaos here.
I think it's a stepping call on the goal shooter. I've realized this competition, umpires are really looking at the footwork. Quite a lot of steppings being called. So players just got to lift their legs up, especially as the legs get tired through the competition.
What a shot. Oh, it's a privilege to watch this young lady. She loves a long bomb. So accurate too.
The scariest part about her is her face is just blank.
Ice Queen.
Yeah.
Here she goes again. Oh, back to back, entertaining the crowd. Only one goal difference here. So we know Kenya, regardless of this result, will go through, because tonight we are building towards a clash between the UAE and Singapore. And basically that will decide which one of them makes it through to the final dance.
Yes, really excited. I'm not too sure if I'm able to speak during the game, but if Singapore wins, they will go through on goal average. But of course, if UAE wins, they will go through undefeated to the finals.
And I know before we jumped on the mic today, you were saying there was a long stretch of time between titles for Singapore, and last year it was an amazing feeling to finally lift the Nations Cup again, having hosting it every year except the COVID years. And so I know that they really desperately want to try and defend the title again, don't they, the Vanders?
Yes, I think they all, they know that pressure is there on them, but of course the team has bonded well, gelled well throughout the year, and I think they've been building up towards the finals and today's game as well. Well, good take from Nora. Nora's a really strong wing attack and tall as well. Zulfa, yet again, with a really nice shot, nothing but net. Really loving the long shots that she's been putting in.
Oh, what a take. Oh, foot was out, unfortunately. Kenya trying to use every patch of the court and, yeah, just falling over that baseline. They do like to give really long passes, Kenya, don't they? And they tend to really hug either the sideline or the back line.
Yeah, and I think it works for them because they're athletic, they can get up into the air and really pick up anything that their teammates give them.
Well, is an upset brewing here. I mean, I know it's very early in the game, but it's 7-all. And Singapore A with a chance to go in front here for the first time. A big pack. Priscilla Wong drives forward. Out to Nora Gabriel. And to the top now. Solid hands here from Janine. Oh, and just threw Priscilla's hands over the back line.
Just unfortunate. I think she could have just looked at Zulfa as well. She was right there in front. She's been sweeping well. So I think the midfielders just have to keep their eyes on both players.
Oh, good contest in the air. In the end, Othwan wins it for the Divas. I always forget that you guys call it the midfield. We call it the mid-court back home in Oz.
Mid-court.
Mid-court, midfield.
So I think you were sharing me the goal attack's really young from Kenya, but she's been amazing. She might not be the tallest player, but she gets herself right under the post.
Yeah, she's straight out of school, actually. Really exciting. Only 19 years old.
Wow.
Had 13 caps before the tournament started, but that must be, there'd be 3 or 4 added to that now. You wouldn't know it, would you, watching her? She looks like a seasoned player. Zulfa hits the dick again.
I think she saw that pass and cut and really tried to stop the player, which she successfully did, but of course, earned a knock under the floor.
Another player that spent plenty of time on the floor the other day was Michelini.
Yes, her legs were tangled up.
She was in Singapore A last year, but now moved up to the senior side. And yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because when you have a look at Singapore and know that at least 3 players have moved on, they've been able to be replaced by Singapore A players that already have caps to their name. They're not fresh babies on court. They're pretty experienced because they've been on the fringe of that senior side for so long.
And I think it's amazing, right? You don't want someone that feels scared coming to the senior team for first time. The Nations Cup gives them the opportunity to know what it feels like to play internationally and against different styles. And it's shown in this year's team where, like you've mentioned, the few players that have moved up, they look like they're at home.
10-7, Kenya have got out to a little lead here. And as a result, here we go, pick up for Jacqueline Oro. Yeah, as a result, we saw a change in Singapore's midfield. I keep going to have to remind myself. Yeah.
Nora and Janine just flipping around, Nora moving into center.
They often do that throughout the games, don't they? Why do you think it was crucial to do that right now?
I think perhaps it's just to give a bit of height into defense, and also Janine with a burst of speed could provide something different for the attack side, really just driving towards the circle edge.
They're very different players in that section of the court, aren't they? Offer different things.
Correct. So Janine was actually in the Pacific Oz series with the senior side. So I think in this competition, she provides that sense of calmness from the Singapore A team and really leads from the front.
A big long feed in here, and Faith Maria Lawrence, her positioning on the body then was really clever. And although Kenya hold on to possession here, it's disrupted their play.
So I think as long as she keeps doing that, it will pay off for her eventually through the game.
Less than 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Just sharing possession in the midfield here, Singapore.
I think with Singapore, it is where they struggle with really, right? That transverse line on the attack end. Everyone's a bit hesitant once Kenya sets up the box defense. I think someone just needs to be brave enough to drive through and create that draw in.
So a held ball means the Divas get the ball back. Last 10 goals. So 7 of those Kenya's way, and 7 in a row.
Yeah, I think Singapore is just got to come down and put one in and just stop the momentum right now.
Oh, floating through with the 3 seconds then, Zulfa. The shot, not her best. And the Divas underneath on the rebound.
They're starting to get the momentum, Kenya. You know, really releasing a lot more long feeds than we've seen throughout the competition. So I think perhaps for the Singapore A goalkeeper, she might need to think about something different. Perhaps getting off the body just to con the space a bit more.
Some teams tend to play better after a day's rest, and others need to find their groove again. Do you think that's maybe what we've seen here from Kenya?
Yeah, and I think I was just sharing with you earlier, what I've realized against the African countries is that the rest day just gives them a whole new lease of life, and they come back even harder.
Great work here on the edge of the circle. Oh, Zulfa was calling for it behind her player, driving towards that baseline.
You see all of them are out of the circle now, sharing the space with the midcourt.
And picked up on the circle edge. So sneaky, Otieno.
Smart play, and I think even from the very first feed, she was already trying that. So I think they've done their homework on Singapore A, knowing that they love to give that short one. So perhaps Zulfa will need to think about something different, just rotating with Pris a bit more to drag the players back.
And it's really tough playing against an African-style defence because they're great in the air and they're also great down low. So you've really got to hit that middle channel, don't you?
Yes, and they're so long. You think that you've cleared them, but somehow they get to the ball still.
The closing speed and their rangy limbs.
Sorry.
So 14 seconds here. Enough time for the Divas to score if they can move quickly. Oh, coming through was Faith Maria. Almost had an intercept. Penalty here, and I don't think time has been held. So that'll be the end of the quarter. 16-7. The Divas in front of Singapore A.
Cancer isn't a death sentence. When cancers are found early, the chances of treatments working becomes very much higher. This early detection is made possible by a life-saving understanding of our smallest genetic material, microRNA. This technology that only Mirxes has can catch signs of diseases that are revealed by patterns of microRNA in our body. All you need for this early detection test is just a bit of blood. Here is where the test will be manufactured, at Mirxes' brand new facility in Singapore. It's now working on the world's first big clinical research study of its kind to make a blood test that can detect 9 different cancers in their earliest stages. When developed, this first ever cancer blood test will be better than any other, more sensitive, more specific. Mirxes is working to sequence the genome of the population and identify those who are more likely to get cancer and other diseases. Because of this wonderful technology, doctors can find the diseases earlier so people can live better lives.
If you want to run,
Run.
if
You want to create your own rhythm?
harmony,
Balance?
move. Keep moving. Release yourself. Find yourself in life's constant motion. Sound mind, sound body.
Move your mind with
basics.
basics.
Singapore A finishing in their huddle. And just waiting now for the umpires to bring the ball out. 16-9, Kenya's way, a 9-goal difference. And we had an interesting look at the stats you've been keeping goal-wise, didn't we? With the goal attack for Kenya shooting at 100%.
Well, if you trust my very amateur stats, it seems like it.
Really, really accurate. And to be fair, the goal shooter really accurate as well. Only 1 miss according to your stats.
Yeah, like really good volume as well, which is what we expect from a holding shooter. So a couple of changes for the Singapore A team. We have Matilda coming in at wing defense, Zulfa moving to goal defense, and Li Xuan coming at center. Let me take a look. Oh, we have more changes. The wing attack of Singapore, Yasmin, goal attack, Rebecca, and the goal shooter, Charlotte.
Wow.
So I think that's 6 changes on court.
Wow.
Only the goalkeeper staying for this quarter.
So why would Coach Mi Hong make so many changes when that first quarter was so good?
I think perhaps also fresh legs, really keeping the intensity up, and of course I think experience as well, letting them learn from the Kenya team.
I don't think I've seen Uzma play inside the defensive circle just yet. So this is the first time I've seen her.
Yeah, and usually we'll see Matilda at goal defense, right? So we seldom see her at wing defense in front of Zulfa.
I'm just looking down at this this substitution sheet in disbelief because every player that was on the bench is now on court.
Yes, wholesale changes.
Wholesale changes is right. Oh, time ticking over there. So can you get the ball back? Oh, letting it fly. That feed into Nayapera. Another patient build-up in play from Kenya. What a take. Sandwich between 2 defenders there. And Nayapera stepping in to get a little closer. Now, with the Kenyan team, they typically tend to remain with their starting 7 for much of the match until maybe the last quarter, and then they'll make a couple of changes if the lead is really strong. I'm wondering today whether changes might come a little bit earlier, seeing as Coach Mi Hong for Singapore A is willing to make these many changes, you know, just use it as a day to really test everything they can before the final tomorrow.
Yeah, potentially, and I think they know they'll be in finals, so they might want to rest their players' legs as well.
Onyengo, a couple of pumps and through. Ah, so Uzma actually played goal defense last game. Apologies. I think a lot of them have meshed into one for me. I've been here every day.
Yeah, granted, you've seen many games, you can't really remember.
No, but that's awesome to know that she has the versatility, of course, and getting an opportunity to be in that circle defensively. Stepping in on Onyengo here. A few goals in a row for Kenya to get things started.
Kenya actually putting out really strong centre pass defence. The wall, all you see is a sea of red, forcing Singapore A back.
Oh, fancy footwork from Nayapera, and they reset on the edge of the circle. Probably the right thing to do there.
I think circle defenders are really doing a good job. Kenya's hesitant to actually swing the ball in right now. They're playing more of a side, what do you call it, a bit of a area defense, confusing space a little bit more.
Hedging coming off the body. So here's a change for Singapore A. Yeah, Nora Gabriel coming back on court. I believe it's Yasmin that's gone to the bench. So a small cameo for her. Split stance here. I don't think Nayapera was quite sure whether she wanted to dish off or put the shot up.
You can see in her eyes, she was like, do I want to let go?
Had to make the decision really quickly though, and she did that.
Oh, I think that was meant for Rebecca, but went straight to the hands of Charlotte.
Oh, our first shot of the day for Charlotte Lee.
And
it
first
looks
shot
good.
of the quarter for Singapore A as well.
Yeah, Uzma just giving her a little bit of attention from behind. But you can see there's a clear tactic from Singapore A to double up on Nayapera and just try and shut that target down.
And it seems to be working for them. I think Zulfa just has to stay off the body a little bit more from the back and force it to go off, out of court over the line.
You can see how dominant the Divas have been in this second quarter.
You know, with this obstructions just inside, sometimes I wish the umpires would bring it outside of the circle, just so it gives us a bit more advantage. Our shooters are rarely going to shoot from that angle anyway.
When it's just inside, you mean, like on the arc?
Yeah.
It would be more of an advantage to give it back to the mid-quarter? Is that what you're saying?
So to take the penalty right outside on the circle edge, it makes it a lot more painful for the opponents.
Yeah, it's almost a disadvantage for the team that's getting the penalty.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Because if you think about it, even the shooter passes the ball out, they're pushed up against us on the short pass.
I hadn't thought about that before.
The things that I think about on court in the past. Good hands. I think Singapore A just swing the ball a bit too much. They need someone to punch through the middle with speed and get the ball going.
It feels like when they're in attack, Singapore A at the moment, that Kenya are really stretching them wide and they're having to force these passes as a stepping call comes here. They're having to force these passes that mean that Kenya come back into contention because they can try and intercept them.
Yes, and I think it speaks to the off-the-ball prep that Singapore A needs to do, currently just bouncing at the back of the defenders. So maybe they should try something different, you know, get onto the front to hold that space first.
What a stance there. Like a ballerina almost with the split.
I'm so amazed when shooters do that. Like, how strong are your thighs and knees?
And the flexibility as well. I would not be able to do that.
Yes. I think that's a South African goal shooter who does it really well. And she almost goes, her knees like almost to the ground. Like, how?
I'm wondering if it's Venta that you're talking about. Different player?
She used to play for Thunderbirds.
Oh,
Just a slightly older one, older player.
slightly older player. I have to think. Oh, Lenise Potgieter.
Yes.
Of course.
You think you're giving her the ball on a circle edge, but after that split, she's under the post. Oh, so advance on the ball. Right under the post.
Kenya edging towards 30 now, and Singapore A just 2 goals for the quarter. 3, sorry. I thought I had the score at 16-7 at the quarter break.
Oh, sorry.
2-3.
Yeah.
2-3.
Clearly my stats are off.
That's all right. Maths is not my strong point either. That's
Neither
why I
is
talk
stats.
for a living.
This is why I prefer playing, because
Yes.
when I take stats, I get distracted.
Great grab then. Nayapera just so strong today. Not much getting in her way.
We've now seen a change again. Janine coming in at center, Li Xuan moving back to goal defense, and that pushes Matilda into goal defense. Good strong take from Nora. Oh, that's a good drive from Janine. Not too sure why she hesitated on that pass.
Unmarked here, Janine, and to Rebecca Leong. Oh, I didn't see her foot go out then.
Oh.
The umpire's a bit closer than we are though.
And you know, as an attacker, I always think the attacker's right.
Well, it's a bit of a commando roll there from the Kenyan. Up and about though. Yeah, a little late to the challenge for F1.
So with the wing defense being able to contest the ball so high, you would think that the wing attacks and the goal attacks really need to do their work behind, keeping them out of the play. Good screen from Becky, finding Charlotte under the post.
Have you played with any of these Singapore A players in the NSL before?
I think only Becky for 1 year under Snickers. But other than that, no. There's a bit of an age difference there.
Well, here she goes. Oh, just a little unsure. We've seen that throughout the Nations Cup, that she does like to reset. Good shot here, though, from Charlotte.
You can see Janine just a bit, and then she's got the contact call of just being a bit naughty, pushing the attacker into the goal third.
Oh, beautiful roll off the body, but the ball's still with Kenya. Out by 22 goals here. Going long up this inside channel. Bouncing, oh, trying to bounce to the top, and again, Otieno just comes through.
And just a bit of the placement of where the ball should go.
Ooh.
Oh, umpires getting taken out as well.
That's not how you get them on side, Matilda. Really feisty grab from Nayapera there.
Good cover from Li Xuan. Unfortunately, the ball just being swung over to the pocket over there.
Yeah, Singapore A did really well to flood in defence then.
Ooh, offside on the Kenyan wing attack.
Held up in the mid-court here. Oh, a big long ball to Janine on the circle ledge, and finished off by Charlotte beautifully.
I think it's her first year in Nations Cup and also first year in NSL as well, and then she's really stepped up. You don't see her being too scared of the shots or the players, really taking them on and embracing that opportunity she's been given.
18 years old. Wow.
Bright future ahead of her.
Oh, an offensive contact here against Singapore A as we enter the final 2 minutes of this second quarter. Oh, well done, Al-Janine. So close to turning it over. And Kenya's lead just creeping further and further out.
But kudos to her, you know, the ball. There's been a huge volume from the goal shooter, but she's still trying. And she's starting to get tips to the ball. So it makes me want to root for her to get an intercept throughout the game.
I think Janine's favourite place ever is the edge of the circle. She just hits it so consistently.
Yes. Somehow she finds her way there. And she seems to love the pockets as well on the long, and it's been working for Singapore A.
Oh, the shot falls out. Throw in for Singapore A. Just spilling the ball into the circle, picked up by Kenya. And Matilda fighting hard here for an intercept, but the Divas continue. And even almost another flying intercept then. Singapore A really trying to prevent the Divas from scoring again in this quarter, and they've done just that here.
Yeah, the pressure that a few attempts have put onto the ball has caused it to go out of court. So Singapore A streaming down the court, hitting circle edge so quickly. You can see the shooters are sort of in line waiting for the attackers to hit circle edge. Sometimes I think they can start a bit earlier, perhaps drawing one of the defenders out to create space for each other.
Well, I'm not sure what happened here.
Was that a help ball? Stepping?
Potentially.
Oh, I thought it was going out. But then
yeah, time pressure on the clock and a bit of frantic play as a result. Kenya 35 goals to Singapore A 12.
Cancer isn't a death sentence. When cancers are found early, the chances of treatments working becomes very much higher. This early detection is made possible by a life-saving understanding of our smallest genetic material, microRNA. This technology that only Mirxes has can catch signs of diseases that are revealed by patterns of microRNA in our body. All you need for this early detection test is just a bit of blood. Here is where the test will be manufactured, at Mirxes' brand new facility in Singapore. It's now working on the world's first big clinical research study of its kind to make a blood test that can detect 9 different cancers in their earliest stages. When developed, this first ever cancer blood test will be better than any other, more sensitive, more specific. Mirxes is working to sequence the genome of the population and identify those who are more likely to get cancer and other diseases. Because of this wonderful technology, doctors can find the diseases earlier so people can live better lives.
Tell me what your movement looks like. If you want to run,
Run.
if
You want to create your own rhythm?
harmony,
Balance?
move. Keep moving. Release yourself. Find yourself in life's constant motion. Sound mind, sound body.
Move your mind with
basics.
basics.
Glorious Soul and goalkeeper.
And obviously with their performances they've put up so far and all the wins that they've attained, we see the usual shooting combination as well in Charlie Preston at goal shooter and Eleanor Smith at goal attack. The ball go?
Look how tightly packed these players are. And it was a UAE sandwich. Sophie Murray right in the middle.
It was quite risky though. Two defenders also loaded immediately to Sophie Murray.
In that pocket, a one-handed take from Charlie Preston, reigning.
Better placement there into Charlie Preston. Let's see, can she sing this in? And she does. Just 2 goals.
Down the clock. Murray lets it fly from distance, and they won't have time to score.
Cherie.
Are you going to pull me up for that?
Had a little cheeky smile on her face as she picked that ball up. Much better play there by Team Canada. So I think that zone, box defense is kind of working.
Perel was calling for it. She was on her own. And another nice shot at goal.
Your balls, anything high, it's theirs.
Again, taking it over her shoulder, Naipere. Sharpshooter. But yellow, but no.
Yeah, did he wear yellow on the first day? No, maybe not.
Yet to bring the yellow out.
Which is coming to enough time for Canada to score one more. No.
So it's a 65-goal victory for the Divas.
Oh. And goalkeeper Jamie Lee.
That Kaiway
center eats it. Yes, not sure why. Maybe they took her height when she was in slippers. I don't know. Or maybe she was wearing, I don't know, wearing shoes and then they thought they were minus all. Oh, great pass there by Nora Gabriel. Just making it look like she was going to pass it at that moment, but because despite her stature and her size, actually she's quite mobile and versatile as a goal shooter as well.
Great balance from Priscilla then. 1 foot, able to get it off to Rashad. Oh, what a shot.
Looks like mistakes are creeping in for Singapore A, and Singapore vendors are all over to capitalize on all these mistakes.
Well, every second pass went through Kai Wei's hands then, and I mean, only a day or so ago we saw her unfortunately in pain.
Let's see, Wei Ping can put this in from range. Oh, she does! Clear.
Out for the third quarter, Kenya with a 23-goal lead over Singapore A, and there have been some changes to both teams. We see Priscilla Wong back on for the Singapore A side. There she is, this time in goal attack. And for Kenya, we see Mary Otieno coming on for the first time today off the bench into wing defence, and Teresa Oswan shifting from wing defence into goal defence. So the captain of Kenya has a rest on the bench.
Well-deserved one after putting on so much pressure in the first half.
First pass there for Mary. Great take overhead. Into the pocket. And the front cut. Now I want to talk to you about Doreen Onyengo for a second. Oh, but I feel like in doing so, I've put the marker on. So pick up here for Aljanine. Yeah, so we were talking to our friend Waswa from Kenya, and he was explaining that Atiano is quite a common name for Kenyans because it means they were born at night. And so I said, well, what's born in the morning then? So he said, Akinyi, is born in the morning. And so the only player on our list that we can see with that name is Doreen. So we can, assume she was born in the morning.
Can we call her the sunshine of the team?
She's certainly a rising star.
Man, I would love to see what she does over the years. If she plays like that at 18, who knows what she's going to do over the years.
And if she's already at, say, like, 16, 17's caps after this tournament at 19 years old, do you think she might get to the century like you?
Oh, maybe she'll get to 200.
I don't know if anyone's done that before.
Wouldn't Irene van Dijk have been there?
She would have been.
But if you
close.
if you combine both South Africa and New Zealand caps.
International caps,
Maybe.
yes. Did I hear that Irene van Dijk was here one time for Nations Cup?
Many years ago.
Wow, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I remember standing beside her and I didn't even make it to her shoulders.
You're right, 217 caps. Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, and obviously combining. So 145 caps for New Zealand, Irene van Dijk, and 72 for South Africa.
That's insane.
Just speaks to, you know, the impressive legacy she's left in netball, right? And you talk about her being one of the powerhouses of the game.
Yeah, I remember the 2011 World Cup. I was a ball girl back then, sitting courtside as on the finals and looking at her and being so amazed. I'm like, okay, I want to be there at the next World Cup.
And that was here in Singapore, wasn't it? Yeah. Do you think that really kickstarted, I should say, a whole wave of interest in netball here in Singapore?
I would think so. I mean, being able to bring the schools in to see the intensity of what international games bring, I think it sort of sparked a lot more interest. And now I think you can see in Singapore, you have netball in all the schools, right? It's like the women's sport to be in.
Actually,
and then you have the short pass call.
Yeah, that we were talking about. Oh, and turnover straight away and then turnover again.
Right at the same spot. Giving Singapore a second chance, I think.
So what colour is the coaching staff of Singapore A wearing today? Is that blue?
I have to admit, I'm a bit bad looking at colours. It looks like black to me.
Yeah, it looks closer to black. We've had this running commentary as, can you almost turn it over here?
And they
they do.
Off
Yeah,
the
sorry, the
hands of
throw.
Charlotte, I think.
About what colour they're going to wear each day because they've been rotating their colours. So last year we saw them wearing a bright yellow colour, then we saw orange and blue and purple, and they kind of rotated through which shirt was clean for each day.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the yellow this tournament, but yeah, that looks like a black to me.
Oh man, I remember the yellow last year. I was like, what are you doing in yellow?
I think they might have worn it against, say, Papua New Guinea as well. Oh, when they were wearing their yellow dresses, yeah.
Well, that's not the best colour to be wearing when you're playing against Papua New Guinea.
Big cross-court pass here. Good work from Matilda. Up the inside channel. Pushed off. The ball then was Charlotte Lee. So some clever angles, I think, from the defender then, just to make sure that Charlotte was not in the right spot for that fade to come in.
Yeah, we can see Charlotte indicating for the ball to drop. But when you slow the ball down sometimes against African teams, they can get their ball there. So maybe she needs to just pop up and go for a flat pass. Ah, nice. Li Xuan has actually been getting her hands to quite a few balls. She's really fast on the drive-through, but unfortunately, the Kenyan didn't defend it. I can do it too.
Yeah. Mary Otieno getting involved. So a penalty here for Naipera.
So if my stats is anything to go by, the Kenyan team has been shooting really well, close to 100% up till now. I think that's a good stat to have, or rather amazing stat to have, even on the international scene. But it makes it painful for the defenders, right? Any ball that the shooters have, they put it through the hoop.
Kenya have been really good in transition. There's been a couple of moments where they've thrown the ball over the back line, but mostly being able to get it through to their target in Naipera.
As the game has been going along, I've realized the goal shooters has been putting her hand up quite a bit. And I think that's sometimes quite controversial. Some umpires do deem it as obstruction on the shooter. So I'm actually quite keen to see what happens throughout the game and even tomorrow as well.
Just finding her balance there, Naipera. So if we go back to our conversation about Irene van Dijk, the special guest this year is former Australian Vice Captain Steph Fredwell, who I saw did an interview with one of the Singapore newspapers. There was talk there about trying to get netball into the Olympics and what she was doing here with clinics and, you know, trying to mentor coaches and players in Singapore.
Yeah, I think Cyrus, our CEO, did ask if I can help with the clinics. I wish I could. It would have been amazing to learn from Steph, although I don't play anymore. But of course, it's still nice to hear what she has to say. And I think she mentioned in the article that she would love to see netball in Olympics in the future. So hopefully that becomes a reality. Where, you know, we bring the bigger nations in, bring more coverage to the sport. Because it is an exciting sport, right?
Oh, of course. I think Brisbane 2032 is our next best bet as maybe a local sport, because the hosting committee can bring in some sports that are local to the country, which is why we saw breaking in France. I'd rather see netball there, if I'm honest. Than
and
breaking.
that was a very interesting news coverage there as well.
Particularly for Australians.
Yeah. It was, I would say, very creative dance moves. Oh, a hard knock. On that run just there, I think it would have helped to give Priest just half a second more to get her leg in front of the defenders so that the hands don't come into play.
Over midway through this third quarter. Oh, a big slip there. Oh, the shoes come off.
She had time to land and look at the umpire, let him know about her shoes.
Important to get that right there, right? Because you can't roll an ankle.
Yeah.
Be a bit dangerous.
just oh my God, let me get my shoes on. The
now
whole world's
panic,
waiting
isn't
for
there?
me.
Yeah. Ah, yes. So some changes coming for Kenya here. We see Vida Otieno coming into the game for the first time today at centre. Helen Sonoya is going to get a run at goal shooter, and Lucy Akumu at goalkeeper. Now, Lucy Akumu can play goal shooter and goalkeeper. I know you were watching the coverage the other night, and she actually went from one end of the court to the other, like from one quarter after another.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brilliant, right?
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes it makes me wonder how they are able to switch their minds immediately from attack to defense. So it's a really different skill sets they have to use. Long shot from Priest sinking in. So I think earlier at the start of the game you did mention, Kenya just running out of court immediately. So earlier in the game you mentioned Kenya likes to play their starting seven quite a bit, but you can see that they've made a lot of changes now. So I think they're also thinking ahead towards the grand finals tomorrow, making sure everyone has fresh legs.
Really scrapping for ball here, and of course Janine cleans it up. Edge of the circle, where else? Good rebound here
Ever
from
reliable.
Charlotte.
She's always there.
And always very offering, isn't she? She's a very active player.
Yes. I mean, in the third quarter, she's been playing center, wing attack, center, you know, just speaks the kind of fitness that she has and the work she has done before the competition.
A big long pass into the pocket. Priscilla. Oh, Nora had to really stretch for that one then. Now with Charlotte in front. A good challenge over the top, but she survives it to take Singapore A to 19. Very smooth play here for the Divas. I think what we've seen for Singapore A is that they've been able to be quite competitive in the first quarter for most of the matches, and then as time goes on, that difference between the experience of the players maybe becomes a little more apparent. But this is such a brilliant opportunity for these Singapore A players to be exposed to so many different styles, because I'm assuming that Singapore wouldn't actually face African countries all that often.
No, yeah, exactly. So I think Nations Cup's a rare opportunity, a great one actually for them to know how light on the feet the Africans are, the kind of speed they can play with. And I think you're right, Singapore A has been putting up a good fight in the first half. It's about how they can stay composed when mistakes happen and how they can claw back the scoreline. But that comes with time as they learn. So Kenya have a smaller shooting circle right now, really mobile, but flows still the same.
Ah, footwork call.
Yeah, that looked a bit iffy. So Janine, a little smart there. She knew she was obstructing, so she just quickly moved herself back to avoid a call.
Cleaning it up, Kenya. Out to the pocket. Oh, offensive contact.
Elbow.
Quick work from Singapore A in transition. And here goes Charlotte. Oh, she's a bit further out than she would like.
She looked like she was going to do a layup at one point.
Has she got that skill in her toolkit?
Haven't seen that yet, but you can always edit and learn it.
Kai Wei is good at those, isn't she?
She needs to get some tips from Kai.
Less than 2 minutes in this third quarter. So a 2-on-1 in attack. But Kenya don't really move it quickly enough to make advantage of it. Matilda just coming through there, a little late.
You know, I like that the players are actually able to clarify the umpires what the call is. It helps them clean it up throughout the game and not cause any misunderstandings.
Sinoya. One of her first shots of the day. She's got a trademark shooting style with the one hand. Looking for it here, and Aljani just applying the pressure, and it comes off for the stepping call against Kenya.
Oh, there's a missed catch on that pass over there. It seems like Aljani is the only player that's been consistently on court for the whole game, and she hasn't been slowing down.
I've been really impressed by her. This is my first real tournament watching her play consistently, as you said. And you can see just the breakdown of scoring a bit more even now. Singapore A actually with the advantage.
I think Charlotte looks really happy with her shot over there, a big white smile on her face.
Not like Zulfa, right?
Yeah. Zulfa has a ice cream face no matter what happens.
47, Kenya at the final break leads Singapore A 22. And we've got 15 minutes left to play in this match. We'll be back with you for that in commentary very soon.
Cancer isn't a death sentence. When cancers are found early, the chances of treatments working becomes very much higher. This early detection is made possible by a life-saving understanding of our smallest genetic material, microRNA. This technology that only Mirxes has can catch signs of diseases that are revealed by patterns of microRNA in our body. All you need for this early detection test is just a bit of blood. Here is where the test will be manufactured, at Mirxes' brand new facility in Singapore. It's now working on the world's first big clinical research study of its kind to make a blood test that can detect 9 different cancers in their earliest stages. When developed, this first ever cancer blood test will be better than any other, more sensitive, more specific. Mirxes is working to sequence the genome of the population and identify those who are more likely to get cancer and other diseases. Because of this wonderful technology, doctors can find the diseases earlier so people can live better lives.
Tell me what your movement looks like. If you want to run,
Run.
if
You want to create your own rhythm?
harmony,
Balance?
move. Keep moving. Release yourself. Find yourself in life's constant motion. Sound mind, sound body.
Move your mind with
basics.
basics.
Alright, it's the fourth quarter. Game on.
(47-22), Kenya with a healthy lead. So they won that last quarter, 12 goals to 10. Here goes Priscilla from deep. Whoa, letting it fly. Swish. And Kenya, you can tell, have really found their rhythm. If we reflect back to the first quarter, there were times where they were resetting a lot on the transverse line and they were being forced wide, and yeah, it was just a bit tougher for them.
Yeah, but I think with African countries, you don't want them to find momentum because then they just get faster, fancier, and harder to catch. So I think Singapore A did a really good job being disruptive. But I guess along the game, as the game went along, fatigue sets in as well.
So today's word of the day is Singapore. So you can win a Prism TV 55-inch if you keep an eye on all the different words that have been shown over the course of the Nations Cup. Head to Netball Singapore's Facebook page for more information on that. But yeah, just keep an eye on that, Singapore.
I think Charlotte's proved to be a threat to Kenya, both defenders falling back to double up on her, leaving Priest quite free to help with the full court attack. I think last year Priest played a bit more at goal shooter. But I think with her experience, she's able to come to the front right now and bring a bit more leadership and direction for the young team.
I definitely remember her playing more in that goal shooting bib. But yeah, you're right. It's nice to see her out front and contribute with the ball a little more, helping it bring down the court.
Who knows, we'll see her wear the wing attack bib too.
Really?
So I think in the national Netball Super League, in our local league over here, in her club, she does play wing attack sometimes. And she makes for a really tall wing attack.
181 centimeters tall at wing attack.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Imagine being a wing defense and showing up for the day and you've got to face Priscilla.
And you're just like, why?
Wow. Kenya more than double the score at the moment. Big long ball. Oh, up the middle. Off one for Kenya. Oh, just foot inside then. Had to look down and check. Helen Zanoya. Aljanid being a real pest at the back.
Singapore's A defenders are really doing a good job. They might not get the full intercept, but they have been getting hits to disrupt the play.
Matilda's bib just coming off at the back. All fixed now, so play can continue. Down low. Charlotte back to Nora. Yeah, North One catches the eye of the umpire here. Stepping in. Missed shot. And over the back line. So a lot of Priscilla's shots that have been longer have gone in. It's like she's stepping in and she's actually making it harder for herself. She maybe needs to rock back.
It's a bit like Charmin when she used to play in the national team. The nearer she gets, sometimes she misses the nearer shot, so she tends to step back. So I've always told her, maybe your give and go should be coming out of the circle.
That was an emotional farewell for her at the end of the last Nations Cup, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. It was hard to say goodbye to her. Ooh, a very hard knock and contest from Matilda. I think she should have pulled out knowing that she would have caught the body of the center, but, you know, she's the one who felt the pain.
Landing space is such a big thing now, isn't it? And making a really big deal about trying to cut down on dangerous play if you accidentally take out the landing space of another player.
Yes, and I think it's been great that there's more emphasis there. It keeps the players safe and it keeps the game cleaner as well.
Maniengo slots another for Kenya. So the crowd has gone a little bit quiet, haven't they?
Yes. Let's just hope that they're saving their voices for the next 2 games.
Divas on the rebound. And the changes they've made have worked really well, I think, with the fresh legs coming on, a bit more energy. You see Mary Otieno with the purple hair involved in absolutely everything.
I think Matilda's starting to get caught on the back of the body of the attacker, so she just needs to be careful and maybe potentially just move her legs to get around. My dream has always been to get an intercept on the line, but it's just so hard.
Really?
Yeah.
On the transverse line?
Kaiwei and I used to try and find new ways to do it, we're thinking, oh, maybe we should do a chairlift to get the ball.
Have you seen the chairlift this tournament? We've seen it a couple of
yes.
times.
In the circle, right? So we've always wondered, should we try it on the line?
The transverse line. Well, that would be quite innovative.
Yeah, but it's a bit hard to find the time to do that.
Yeah. I would pay to see it though, I think. And you'd probably be on one side of the transverse line being lifted and the ball's just gone right up the other channel and you completely missed it.
And then we'll get into trouble for not defending the other player.
So Abigail Seme coming on for Kenya in goal defence.
And I think we see Faith Maria coming in at wing defence.
Started the match at goal defence, Faith Maria, then had a rest on the bench.
So fresh legs, I think she's going to give some trouble to the wing attack. Hopefully she's able to keep her off as a gauge a bit more.
So now that Abigail is coming onto court for Kenya, that will mean that they've got all of their bench players on. Everyone's had a bit of an opportunity ahead of the final to get on court, get the legs moving.
Just build those connections, right? Because that's what really matters in the grand finals. All these little bits of understanding.
Zulfa for a lovely shot. So straight back into the action and able to find her rhythm. Dropping into the pocket, and then Helen Sonoya on her own there under the post with a nice shot.
Nora's been doing a really good job on the centre pass, coming out really strongly and undefended on the line, and it creates a bit more depth for Priscilla going down. So Singapore A putting up the 5-man wall defense on centre pass, forcing the ball back.
So talk to me about the NSL for a minute, because was it Rena? One of the other commentators, I think she was telling me about how there's a relegation system in the NSL. So if you finish towards the bottom of the ladder, you've got to play to try and remain in the top league. And there's a crucial couple of games coming up, isn't there? To see who might replace some of those teams towards the bottom of the ladder this year.
So with the Netball Super League, there's 5 clubs and 1 open team, which is Menace. So this year, it's a bit special with the playoffs. It's actually 3 clubs competing for 1 spot. So at the end of September, we have Marlins and Speed playing against each other, and then the winner will go against Swifts. So Swifts is Sindhu's club. Marlins is ETS club.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be very exciting to see what happens in the next NSL after all these playoffs. So after everyone has been sort of listed down, the players who have no club can actually go for the Menace trials. So they form sort of a mixed team for people with no club or clubs who are not playing.
Is that the team you said you were part of, Menace?
Yeah, so I've played with Menace a couple of years, about 2018, 2019, before the Achilles injury. Oh, sorry, Chris with a really nice intercept on the centre pass coming in through from the back. But yeah, maybe we'll see if I can get back to Menace this year.
Throw in here for Nora. Quick work from Janine. And they find Priscilla lurking along the baseline on 1 foot. Fires it inside. Very steely player. Priscilla Wong. Big future ahead, you'd have to think.
Yes, definitely. I know from the moment I've seen her come onto the scene, I'm really excited to see when she moves into the senior team and what she can do. And even with Janine as well, I love seeing her on court. She's speedy, she has good agility. And you know, with the swap between Nora and Janine, she's just brought a different flavour to the last few minutes of the game.
They've done a switcheroo in the mid-court again.
Yes. Oh, another pair of shoe comes off.
Yeah, different to, because it was a goal attack before on Niengo.
Sometimes when my shoe comes off and you have to tie your shoelace, and because you have to bend down for quite a long time after a game, you feel so tired. The lactic acid just builds up just by tying your shoelaces. Good hands from Chris again. And Zulfa being smart to just block off the defender.
Quick work here with the give and go to hit circle edge, and that was a brilliant feed from Janine. There'll be a second chance at the goal here with the penalty. Oh, a bit of suspense. Singapore A hit the big 3-0. Now we've got just over 3 minutes left in this game. Oh, spilled over the back line. Throw in for Akumu. Just having a look at the way Kenya have scored throughout this game. So 16 goals in that first quarter, 19 in the second. The second was their most dominant quarter when Singapore A made a host of changes and they kept their same starting 7, and so they just kind of rolled through and were able to add a lot of goals to their tally. In the third quarter, they scored 12 goals, Kenya, and now coming into this, 13. So they've got a couple more minutes here to add some more to the board, but we already know that they are the team with the best for and against in the Nations Cup this year. Have you seen some of the big margins they've been able to get in the games?
Yeah, I think I saw the Kenya versus Canada game. And, and if I'm not wrong, that was the game where Kenya scored the highest goal difference across the tournament. So they scored 79 net game, just one more than Singapore when Singapore played Canada. So I think that's really a statement made by them.
Every game counts.
Yeah, you can evidently see with their goal average at 184%.
Yes.
That's almost 40% higher than the next team.
Yes, it's crazy, isn't it? So they're actually coming in today, were second, 2 points behind the UAE, but their goal percentage again, as we see Matilda with a key defensive play there for Singapore A. Yeah, that goal percentage is just going to ensure with this win here that they are through to the final. And what an amazing result in their debut tournament, don't you think?
Yeah. I think even when we saw Kenya's name, no one was ever going to take them lightly. You know they're a strong team, they're athletic, they're a very agile team, and they have shown it this tournament. Well, I think a breaking call on the Kenyan goal wing attack.
Elson Dong just coming out a little early. Zulfa looks to post. And of course she hits it from there. Crowd loves it. 24 seconds on the clock. Can Singapore A score again? The give and go from Nora. Janine back to Matilda. Faith Maria. Oh, the big wind up and just a little bit strong on that throw.
I think there was a lot more time that she could have used, but this comes with experience. You can easily get a goal in 5 seconds, right?
I think as defenders, as soon as we get to touch the ball, we think, oh goodness, I got to do something impressive with it. Yeah, 61-32, the final score here in the first on the first game of day 5. Kenya with a very important game to come tomorrow. We're just waiting to find out who their opponent will be in the final, but they will be full of confidence. Is there a player that stood out for you, Kim, from their team today?
Oh man, I think all of them played equally well. It's so hard to find a standout player when a team plays like that. And it's such a team that, it's this kind of teams that make it hard to compete against them. You don't really know who to shut down.
That's right. So the handshake here between the coaches. And an interview coming up on the live stream. Who will it be that they get on the mic today? I love this part of netball, when you come together and, you know, say something nice about your opponent.
And it really reminds you, right, after the games, after the hard knocks, we are still one big community, and it's all about empowering each other, and I love it.
Big smiles on the faces of the Kenyan players for sure. Loving being here in Singapore.
I think a bit of a gift exchange between the players and Kenya.
Parinsimu, the captain, has just been beaming the whole time she has been here. You can just tell she loves being on court. So dancing here from Janine, getting the shoulders moving.
So I think the year before the warm-up started, Kenya was actually dancing, and I love that part of African countries. They're always on the go, always really groovy.
That has been their warm-up for much of the matches, actually. Just a little dance here and there, throw the ball around, and that's enough.
Maybe that's the secret to success.
And joined now by Terry from Team Kenya. Terry, congratulations. You know, how do you feel after that game?
We feel so amazing. We are so happy because this game was a must-win game for us to reach the finals of tomorrow. Yeah.
A must-win game for tomorrow. So, of course, tomorrow is also another big day for Kenya. So, what is the team spirit, you know, with the chance to at least go into the final as well?
Sorry?
What is the team, you know, mentality going into the next game?
Okay, for the tomorrow's game, we are very ready for it, and we promise our country that we have to win the game of tomorrow. So at least we go with the medal to our country.
Fantastic. I'm sure many people from Kenya are watching this and cheering you on. So all the best to your team as well. And of course, we have more netball action coming up.
Thank you.